probably should. I've been an entrepreneur for over 20 years. And prior to being an entrepreneur in the network marketing industry, direct sales industry, I actually had my own traditional businesses. I've had 3 separate companies by the age of 18. And then from there, I just continued to be an entrepreneur and then introduced to direct sales. Decade later, I was introduced to MLM. A decade after that, I was introduced to affiliate marketing and then eNagic. And I'm really grateful to be back in a direct sales platform and then also to be able to build my own company through it. And I'm really excited to be a part of Business Academy and to help everybody here with mindset, with personal growth, with getting through any blockages or challenges that you may have in your business, in your life. I've helped hundreds of people, men and women alike, from moms, from stay-home dads, from contractors to professionals, really help them break through some of the patterns and the habits that have held them back from achieving their greatest success or enjoying the life that they really want to have, and to really create a business and a life that they deeply love, desire, and are excited about. So I'm so happy to be here, everyone. So I wanted to go around really quickly and really want to hear some of your success stories or wins of the week. It's Thursday, so a lot of days have come by since Sunday. What are some of your own, wins that you achieved this week? I don't care what it is. It could be today I woke up and I actually made my bed when it's messy every week. Hi, that's a win, okay? I did 20 push-ups when I've done 0 in a month, right? Any kind of successes you had. We tend to forget to celebrate things that are outside of business, and that's most important, because if you're not working on yourself, you're never going to build a strong business. You need to have your own personal strength in order to have business strength and acumen. So let's go around the table, folks. Don't be afraid to unmute yourself. Let's have fun. I'll start unmuting people. Trust me. I'm good at that. Doing it. Go, Angela.
Well, I bought a new GoPro 7 and all the trimmings, and I have no friggin' idea how to use it. So I've been watching some YouTube videos on how to use it. I'm still not getting it very well. I'm hoping that I bought it for the event in September in Mexico, so I'm hoping by then someone will have given me a lesson. But that was a fun thing to do. You go spend a little bit of money.
I love spending money.
Yeah.
The more I spend, the more I get back. That's what I convinced myself. I got a new laptop fucking around with here. Okay.
Absolutely.
Congratulations. GoPro.
Yay me.
You know what that means now that you have a GoPro? That's an excuse to go have more adventures. So
Yeah, if I learn how to turn the damn thing on, I can't even turn it on.
I'm trying to find another picture on my phone, but we have a cat in our neighborhood, and it actually has a GoPro on its collar. And he literally goes, like, I was like, what is on that cat's collar? And then he hopped up on our fence one day, and I'm looking, and there's this huge thing this cat has, and we look, and it's a camera. And I'm like, are you kidding me? This cat has its own GoPro. I need to know where this cat lives. And I've literally been trying to find where in the neighborhood this cat's from. This cat has its own adventure. I'm like, I swear to God, I'm getting GoPros for my cat, because I have one of my 2 cats is an outdoor cat. And he literally is like Felix the cat. He's the neighborhood cat. He hangs around the laneway all the time. If your garage door is open, my cat will go in there and chill out with you. If you have a lawn chair, he will go sleep on it. He sleeps on the neighbor's lawn chair, their deck, under the guy's truck in the back alley. And he's the coolest cat. Like, people go up to him and pick him up and hug him and pet him, and he just lays on the ground like a dog with his belly up. And he's really awesome. So put a GoPro on a pet in the neighborhood there, Angela. I swear I gotta get one for my cat. Who else has a win of the week? What are some new things that you've done for yourself this week outside of business? Emily Ann, go ahead.
Okay, so tomorrow is Paxton's last day of summer camp, and then 1 week off, and then it's school.
Woohoo! Back to school. Are you excited about that?
Are you excited to go back to school? Yeah. Yeah?
Are you excited to make new friends and meet your new teacher?
Yeah.
I love that. See, I feel like my life is so boring now because on September, it's not like I have a whole new school to go to and a bunch of friends to meet and a new teacher or coach to work with. He's so lucky. He gets to make new friends, new activities. I think being a kid again is way more fun than being an entrepreneur. Wouldn't you agree, everyone? Let's go back to being, how old is he? 9, 10? 5. Oh, he's big for 5. That's awesome. Thanks for sharing that. Ryan, what's new with you? Oh, you got to mute yourself. Can you mute yourself? Are you at work?
Oh. Well, I'm part of Business Athletes Academy now, so that's new.
Congrats.
Super excited about that. Definitely feeling a little bit more aligned than I was before. And I survived this week at work. I've been up at 3:30 a.m. every day to beat the heat in Texas. It's been like 42 degrees. So, yeah. So tomorrow's my last day. Then I have 2 weeks off so I can get through some material and get my head wrapped around this whole
the new funnel.
Yeah, yeah, I'm super stoked about it. And I'm going to get the CBD offer as well. So that's cool. I'm really excited about that. I've used CBD before and it really does help for sleeping and calming myself down at night. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm super stoked.
I'm so happy to hear that. Good for you. High five, my friend.
Thank you.
Glad to have you guys all here. Wendy, what's your win of the week?
Ooh, I'm making a turkey breast in my Instapot tomorrow. I got an Instapot like months ago and it's been sitting in the box. I'm like, I really should try it out.
I'm looking at buying a second Instapot. That's how much I use it.
Oh, wow.
My food has never tasted so good since I got one.
Yeah, I'm pretty stoked about that. Ryan, you're going to love BAA. Like, honest to God, man, like the organic training is kick-ass.
Yeah, that's good because I was spending probably anywhere between $300 and $500 through ads, and just like I was having a really hard time converting them. So I mean, I had 5 sales through AI, but my biggest objection was that $99. So it's just more of a personable feel. I like the vibe, and I'm going to continue with AI, but I'm going to qualify my leads first and see what their values are and how they're set up. So I do have a call at 9 o'clock tonight. Actually, I started running ads on classifieds for $50.
Nice.
For the entire month, and I got 2 leads from it. And this guy has affiliate marketing experience, so I'm going to qualify him a little bit and see which direction to push him at. So it's definitely opened up more doors for sure. Yeah, I'm super stoked on it.
Awesome. I'm excited to do the CBD thing too. I actually was going through all of their videos today, and yeah, I'm jumping in. I phoned my husband. I'm like, okay, I know I'm not making a whole lot of money right now. I've made a little bit, but I'm just going to do this. And he's like, okay, go ahead. Like, all right, here I go. So yeah, I'm like excited about having them both, like the Enagic and the CBD. I think that you can really promote that as a good combination too. So
that's awesome. I love that. How exciting is that? Look at all these wins. Sorry, my screen froze for a second. I think something's just loading. Come on, screen.
Still frozen, and your face looks really cute too, by the way. Oh, there you go.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I just had, because I recorded my last, sorry, my screen keeps disappearing on me. Can you guys hear me now? Okay. I was just on a Zoom before this call and it's downloading the recording, and I think when it paused, it popped up my screen and froze my screen. Yeah, it's just showing on the bottom here that it's uploading. All right, whatever. Did I freeze again? Okay, no, I'm good. I'm trying to pull up my training screen here. Oh, for God's sakes. Sorry, my screen's frozen. That I'm trying to open up here. Well, in the meantime, as I get this darn thing open and my system is loading, Crystal, what are your wins?
Oh man, mine.
Probably getting my group going is my biggest win. People are now asking to do one-on-one mentorship with me, since I did launch out a mentorship program, but nobody came in because they were a little bit hesitant. So I did leave it open for people just to kind of reach out to me. I'm going to probably promote it a bit differently, but my biggest one right now is my group, and I'm focused more on a group sense, so then I can teach you guys the benefits of a group and how maintaining, kind of just like this, right? So, but you're doing it for yourself, and instead of doing everything like in everywhere, at least you can focus on like your things in one area. So it's kind of probably my biggest one that I have going right now. Other than I feel like I have more money coming to me than I have in a very long time. But
Yeah.
I mean, it feels good, I guess, in that way. All my bills are caught up, so I'm excited. And yeah.
I love that. And you got some unexpected extra money today, which is awesome.
Yeah, I did.
Right? See,
yeah.
Everything is always working out for you perfectly. You always have more than enough, right?
Yes.
And you're constantly attracting abundance of wealth and money from all areas in your life.
Yeah.
And that's the affirmations that I recite to myself every single day. I think it's invaluable for us to affirm what we want in our life and to be very crystal clear with the universe what we're looking for and what we want from it. So I'm super excited for you. Thank you so much for sharing that. Woohoo! Well, now that we went across the board with 500 members who are on the mastermind tonight, just kidding. That's my exaggeration. I know that there's a big wedding in BC that probably a lot of people are at, but I'm excited to be here. I'm glad you all took the time to invest in yourself and be here. I have a very special training that I'm going to go over. Before I go into that, I want to just quickly cover one of the things we wanted to make clear inside the business athletes group is to ensure that leads are put inside of the Facebook group versus the chat. And just from my own personal experience as an entrepreneur, I've been in many different groups and companies. And when we tend to put leads inside of a chat group, especially a new group, it creates confusion, insecurities, unsurety. And you know what? You never know that someone might say something sideways or confusing that causes another lead to think twice about wanting to proceed. And all of a sudden, somebody who worked so hard to build a relationship and rapport with somebody, they put them in a chat group. It's either too chatty, irrelevant topics being shared, irrelevant questions being asked, and it confuses the lead, and they wonder, why am I here? Where in the format of a Facebook groups are, they're very congruent and consistent with the content that's put in there. The content is monitored differently, and it's easier for administrators and moderators to remove comments, posts, or people from a group. So we have more control as to the content coming in, so we can protect the relationship that you have with your leads, right? And that's something I want to make sure that we all are aware of, and that we respect why we don't want to put our leads inside of a chat group. And if anyone has questions about that, I mean, you're free to chime in and make a question or a comment on that. If you do have leads currently in a chat, I would suggest to just remove them and continue to build that one-on-one relationship with them. And we only want to introduce that lead to anyone else inside of the community that is relevant at this particular moment, especially when they're new and they're still a lead or a prospect, right? Once they become a member, then they're now showing up into their business and their membership differently, right? Now they can start collaborating with everyone else at a different level. But I'm very cautious usually of having a brand new member inside of a chat group with probably more tenured members, right? It can be a bit overwhelming. So it's one of those things where I suggest use your own common sense when it comes to your specific lead or prospect, if they're very new, very green, very apprehensive, maybe they were a tough lead to get in, ask yourself if the chat is beneficial right now. It might not be right now. Maybe it's beneficial to put them in a private chat with just a few people that you know will kind of help them get through some of the biggest roadblocks they're going through before they can start to come in and play at a more advanced level, right? So use the common sense on that where you feel, but we definitely don't want to have leads inside of the BA chat right now or the one-on-one chat. We want to make sure they're inside the Facebook group. And in the group, you want to make sure if you have leads in there, even if you don't or do, keep in mind one day you will, and respect the ones that have leads and prospects in that group. Be engaged, make positive comments. Don't just like a post, make a comment in there, right? Think of it as your own fan page that's shared. It's a shared fan page. Because you can do whatever you want in your fan page. And doesn't it feel exciting when you look at your fan page and there's like activity and engagement and stuff like that? Once somebody is now connected to you in the community, they're now a lead, they're now a new member, and now they see this energy happening inside of this Facebook group. They now feel part of something bigger than themselves, bigger than the four walls around them, right? And so by being engaged, by making comments, people start to feel more like, hey, I can speak up, I can show up differently. This community is really great. I get tons of support. But when you go into a Facebook group and it's just crickets, it's not really inspiring, right? It's not really fun to go into, right? So just be cognizant of it's anything you say is read by, 200 plus other people, right? It's not just something you want to share. You want to make sure you're sharing what is relevant to, the program, the course, the products, and the level of information that is needed inside of a group, right? So I just want to go ahead.
I just wanted to ask, sorry, hon, what exactly is Facebook changing about group chats?
They're removing the group chat from the Facebook groups. So I am part of another group where I get automatic messages because I'm a group member. It's you can set up whether it's like a many chat sequence, for example. Inside the group, there's also an autoresponder system. Okay, so but that allows you, instead of having to send messages to 100 different people, it's now everyone in that group. So what Facebook, and I read this in the SME group, what Facebook has, the reason they changed it is they felt that people were getting way too much information from group chats, right? Constant spamming, blah, 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 blah. And they decided to pull it out. Now, what I've been learning, and keep in mind, today's the 22nd, Facebook they haven't released a lot of information about this, but what the theory is Facebook is going to offer obviously a paid system for this. Facebook is now a monopoly, just like cell phone companies. Okay, so they buy everyone out and then they charge for what used to be free. That's pretty much what free or cheaper, right? Like think of a cell phone company like TELUS, right? They buy out a smaller little Mickey Mouse company from a kiosk in a mall, right? And then they buy out that company and charge higher rates. Okay, so Facebook's the same thing. It's just real estate. Facebook is just online real estate. They'll buy out the smaller companies and then they sell the same service at a premium rate.
Okay.
So I'm pretty sure they're going to
really understand it. So
yeah, well, because the new thing right now is businesses are starting to use Facebook groups to grow their lead, their client base through groups versus marketing, right? And if groups are exposing their members more and more to more marketing, I think Facebook is looking at it as it's too much. And if you want to, blast messages to your members, you're going to pay for it. So, and again, it's very new as to why this change is happening, and there's no big articles about it right now. So that's the most I know about that right now. Cool beans.
Okay, thank you for that, Tammy. Sorry, I just wondered, and if I have to leave early, I apologize, but my mouth is killing me from the dentist, and I still have a cold.
No worries.
Sorry, ladies. Sorry you have to all hear me talk with a scratchy voice and sniffle. Thank you, Tammy, for answering that question. I appreciate it. I'll shut up now.
No worries. We're all here. It's not the Tammy show. We're all here. I just happen to be training on a topic today. You can trade on the same thing one day if you want. So I'll send you my slides. So today we're talking about hobby mindset and business mindset. Now, I'm actually going to be I'm working on putting together an official training on this particular topic that I'm going over today. But a lot of people struggle with knowing the difference between having a hobby mindset and a business mindset. And once you become clear on, are the tasks I'm doing day to day something that a hobbyist would do showing up in their business, or an actual business minded person, right? And I'm going to ask you all to be very truthful with yourself. You can't BS yourself, right? You can BS all of us all you want, but you can't lie to yourself. So be honest with yourself as I go through, hobby mindset, business mindset, if it relates to you. And I'm telling you, once you are very clear on which side of the board you're on, you'll have a greater appreciation as to what you need to change. What things do you need to work on to transition from hobby mindset to business mindset, okay? So somebody with a hobby mindset is somebody that just dabbles into their business whenever they're in the mood, right? So, I mean, how many times have you jumped into your business only because you were in the mood? You're like, or the opposite. You're like, oh my gosh, I'm so not in the mood to do this tonight. I know I have to get this ad done. I've got to get this video edited. I got to spend 2 hours getting the captioning in there, right? And then, so now you're making decisions based on if you're in the mood to do it or not. Okay. Where on the flip side, a business-minded person is somebody who actually plugs into their business daily. It's actually a habit. It's a habit for them to plug in every single day. Now, plugging in every day doesn't mean, I have to spend 5 hours a day or 18 hours a day in my business. No, sometimes it's first thing in the morning. Maybe you need to check your priority messages, stuff that may have came in overnight, maybe responses you were waiting to get back on, and things that you need to take care of first thing in the morning before you start the rest of your day. Whatever the rest of your day looks like, right? The rest of your day could be you have a family outing. You need to go take care of things at doctor's appointments. Maybe you have a job that you got to go to. So I always tell people a business-minded person will always get up earlier, check their business, and then go out for the day or for however long they need to take care of their other stuff, the personal stuff in their life, right? Now, a hobby-minded person, pleasure is the end goal. It's just to be happy, right? I'm just doing this business because it makes me happy. It's cool. It gives me pleasure. It gives me satisfaction. I like being in the business, right? There's no seriousness involved in it, right? Hobby-minded people also just attend meetings to hang out with people. They're not there to learn or develop themselves, right? Those are the social people in the group, right? You tend to see a lot of those people who are always the first to volunteer for anything and everything to do with serving people, helping people. Those tend to be, and not all of them, I'm going to be very clear on that, not all of them, they tend to be the hobby mindset members. Companies actually do need those type of people in a group, especially the social group, because the social group are the cool people who make companies fun. They're the ones that they always have games. They got Post-it notes here. They got colors, diagrams. Everything is a game. They're the person you're going to expect, a birthday card from, a hello, a greeting, a hug when you walk into an event. So there's a purpose for those social people, but they tend not to be business-minded people. They're hobby. And the reason they join a business is to make friendships, to hang out. It's not about developing themselves or becoming better. It's about how many more people that they can serve and have fun with and make friendships with, okay? Also, a hobby-minded person, they don't intend to make a lot of money. Again, they're just there to have fun. That's a hobby-minded person. You'll also hear hobby-minded people make comments like, you know what, I'm not here for the money. I'm just here to help people get healthy. You will hear that quite often in the health and wellness industry. And that does not happen immediately. It happens usually after a few months or sometimes after a year when they've made no money, they've tried all these things, they've been spinning their tires in the mud, they've been getting no traction, but they've also been in that place because they are hobby mindset. They only show up for fun, they're there to make friends, they're there to hang out, they're not there to develop themselves. So over time, their language shifts to, oh, I don't care for the money. This product really helps people with their health. I have a friend who had diabetes. She no longer takes her insulin. Blah, 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 blah. They've lost 35 pounds. That's the things you're going to tend to hear from a hobby mindset person. And again, you want to ask yourself, be honest with you. That's how I think. That's how I am. And maybe, just maybe, if you're here on the live or watching the recording, just maybe that'll be a red flag. Oh my God, I'm a hobby-minded person. And you got to do one of two choices here. Accept it, embrace it, and just say, hey, you know what? I'm a hobby person, and that's all I want to do here. And then never complain about how much money you made, right? Or how much money you lost in your investment. So I'm here to tell hobby-minded people, thank you so much for your grand investment in your business. You're going to have these great, wonderful products that are going to change your life, make you feel better, clean your house, a chemical-free home, take all the chemicals out of your food, sleep better. Your skin is beautiful from our amazing $3,000 Inespa, but you will not make any money, have any greater success in your life than you already are. And I hope you enjoy the average life that you currently have. That's what you're going to get as a hobby mindset person, okay? Business-minded person will have a very different conversation, okay? Hobby mindset people would rather spend time with their family, their friends, and they see their business as something that gets in the way of that. They're the people you will constantly read or hear them complain about. I don't have time for this. I have kids. I don't have time for that. My husband or my wife wants me to do this or that. I have a birthday, I have a party, I have an anniversary. You ever have somebody on your team who constantly has a thing to do with their friends and family? There's always a birthday, there's always an anniversary, there's always a wedding, there's always a ceremony, a celebration, a graduation, right? It's a shoe shopping party, right? It's a car meet, it's a movie night, it's a beer night with the friends, right? Oh, there's something at the pub, there's a concert going on. Those are hobby mindset people. Sure, do they have a great, fun, extravagant life? Great, but that's what they have. They don't have a business, okay? So, and I can tell you from experience, business-minded people, they put business before friends and family. And I'm going to explain that in a way that you can appreciate. And it's not saying your family and friends don't matter. It means because my family matters, my business comes first. I schedule everything else around my business. And I'm okay with that. Why? Because I preset my non-negotiables. My non-negotiables are the things that I have to show up for my family. Then my business is scheduled. Once all my business tasks are scheduled, everything else comes second, unless it's a priority and I can reschedule it. But when you shift your mindset to putting your business first, what you're doing, you're not putting Joe Blow first, you're not putting your sponsor first, you're not putting your downline first, you're not putting the product first. When you put your business first, you are putting you and your family first, because that means you are going to commit when you wake up and before you go to bed, that's succeeding in your business, that learning new skills, that showing up in your business. And showing up in your business is in different ways. Showing up in your business means if you committed that you have to spend 45 minutes to get a video done and edited and posted in your fan page, it gets done. It's a priority. A business-minded person will take action and get it done, right? A hobby-minded person will put friends and family first. Oh, my husband doesn't want to help me clean the table up after the kids are done. He doesn't want to put them to bed or give them a bath, so I'm going to do it instead. No, a business-minded person does not do that. A business-minded person will prioritize what needs to get done, will reschedule time to where those things can be moved and shifted and adjusted in order to get the business task done. Because once the business task done, that's an income-producing activity. You've just leveraged yourself to create greater wealth sooner than later. Because the more a hobby mindset person puts things off, the further and further away, the longer the timeline is to achieve that success level that you desire, the outcome that you're looking for, the vision of the life that you want, okay? Hobby-minded people book their time around their favorite TV shows, sporting events, anything that has to do with hobbies, fun activities, and nothing to do with success of self or business or others, right? And I'm not here to tell people you should never watch TV again. Trust me, a decade ago, I used to be that entrepreneur that literally would ream people out if they had anything to do with the personal life. What do you mean you have a personal life? You don't have time for personal life. No time for this, that. Shut it all off. All it is business. I 100% admit I used to be that way. But because over time I started to work on myself, on personal development, I got around greater mentors and coaches that I worked with. I started to change and shift my mindset and stop being such a Nazi and learn to create some balance. Okay. So this is why I created this training, to help adopt new habits and a new balance in your life, and to be very clear as to the things you need to be hard on yourself on for the good. You know how we call it tough love? Even we give our kids tough love. We have to give ourselves tough love, right? And I'm here to give you tough love, but I'm not here to strip everything away from you and say you're not allowed to have any fun until you're making 6 figures a month, right? No way. I want you to have fun while you're doing it, but I also want you to prioritize what's important. Okay, so you stop putting your business on the shelf collecting dust until one day you're in the mood to show up and do something about it, okay? And then hobby-minded people constantly make excuses. They're the ones you will see in the chat, in the group, on a mastermind, at an event, all the time. They always have an excuse for everything. I don't have enough money. I don't have enough time. My spouse is always breathing down my neck. My kids are driving me up the wall. I never have time to sleep. I don't have time to eat. I work 12 hours. I hate my job. Those are the people who constantly have an excuse for everything, right? Hobby-minded people. So when you have a team of people like that, you have to ask yourself one thing. Who the heck did I attract into my business? Did I tell people in my ads anywhere that this is a click, done for you, get rich quick system? Everything is done. You just point, click, done, and the money comes in. You go have fun. You go drink beers, watch all the shows you want, take your kids to every event, blow all the money you want, drive out of town, always on vacation, never around. Money will just keep coming in. I'll assure you, you will attract hobby-minded people. But when you're more clear with your prospects, with your leads, with your marketing, that this does take work. This did force me out of my comfort zone. I learned a lot of things I didn't do before. There are other things that I rescheduled in my life and moved around and shifted because the outcome that I want, the desires that I have, were more important than all the short-term pleasures that got in the way of the long-term vision that I have for myself and my family, right? Are we all clear on a hobby mindset? And does anyone have anything to say? Some of the takeaways, maybe you see yourself in some of this, and totally be okay to admit it, because I'm telling you right now, when we start speaking honestly and openly and going, man, I'm a hobby-minded person here and I need to work on that. Identifying something and bringing it to awareness is the biggest strength and professionalism in any entrepreneur. So I want to hear a little bit from you guys what your takeaway was on hobby mindset, and then I'm going to go into business mindset. Go ahead, Brian.
Well, for me, it's not really hobby or business. Like, I want this more than anything, but in my job that literally consumes so much of my time that I'll get disconnected from it for 2 weeks, and it's like I have to restart everything over again. So, and then when I'm on days off, I kind of just shut everything completely off because I'm just like, I need to rest. So there's definitely some takeaways where when I do have the time to get some stuff done, for sure.
I love that you shared that. So it sounds to me that you tend to, do you work out of town?
Yeah, I work in Texas. I do 4 weeks on.
And
it's anywhere between 12 and 14-hour days. And I have to drive 20 minutes to Starbucks to use Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
And then again, when I get here, I'm like, where is my attention supposed to be focused? That's one thing that I personally struggle with is, okay, like what should I be watching? What should I be reading? Should I be self-developing or working on business? Or sometimes I'm like, what's the most important thing to do at this moment in time to get ahead?
So I'll ask you a question. Let's say, do you have any ads running right now, or?
Just that one on Castanet, but I did have one for AI. The PDF download, I was getting $2.90 leads from it, but nothing generating. Some comments, and I shut that one off because I need to revamp something and change the language in it. So, and now I'm doing this. So now it's like, hey, am I on AI or? I have 2 weeks off coming up on Saturday, so it'll be a lot of focus on both of these platforms.
That's awesome. But right now you're working, right? This is your work time frame?
Yeah.
Ryan, you showed up to the mastermind.
I know, yeah.
And look how many people are in the group who didn't show up, who are probably just like baking their kids, sitting on the deck having a beer.
Yeah, it's total. It's like the thing is I really miss the gym, no matter how tired I am, but I'll put this aside. So that's something where I need to make this just as important as training physically, for sure.
And working on your business is also working on your mindset. So the fact that you love the gym, I'm going to suggest to you, sorry, I don't want to say I'm telling you, I'm going to suggest to you, keep going to the gym. Make it a priority. For when it's a passion, I can tell. Physically, I can tell it's a passion. I'm not blind. And secondly, you glowed when you said that. Okay, so that's a red flag right there. A good red flag. We'll call it a blue flag. There you go. Because red flags tend to be negative, right? So we'll say red flag. So, and what do we do when we're at the gym? We've got our headphones on, we're listening to something. So listen to a business-related podcast. Somebody who thinks outside of the box. It doesn't matter who it is, but somebody who propels you to stretch your thinking, your mindset, to look at business communication, relationships, confidence differently. Because while you're still on your 2-3 work weeks off, you're still what you're doing is you're developing a different muscle, right? So now you're showing up to your leads and to your business differently when you're on that off time. You don't, and I want you to respect yourself on your off time and not spend 24 hours a day doing business. It's impossible unless you're doing what I'm doing, which is literally creating a dozen videos, webinars, platforms, you name it. I'm literally creating a female version of business athletes. Okay. I do that 24/7 for a short period of time. And in the middle of it, I'm doing masterminds.
Yeah. Literally all it takes is 2 days for me to schedule a post every day. It's hard to get content while I'm here because I'm just not doing anything but work. So I need to schedule or even 3 posts a week for 4 weeks while I'm here, because you can schedule all that through Facebook, and I've done that before, and it's not prioritizing, like you said. It's just straight out just me not prioritizing.
And on your time off, that's when I would suggest to take some time to think about what can I create now on my time off that I can schedule for when I'm working.
Yeah.
And then create an autoresponder system that supports your lifestyle, because you have weeks away working and then weeks home back. So create your business around that lifestyle.
Yeah.
And I would totally embrace that. I definitely can see the success, and you can definitely create content while you're working, because you can take a selfie right now while you're in a meeting and make a post about that and express how you feel. I'm away working for weeks on end when I'd rather be doing this, but guess what? Today I showed up on a mastermind for an hour and I learned these, great new habits, blah, 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 whatever you want to share. That's a post, right?
Yeah.
And that's something for you to share when you're ready to write your content.
Yeah. Scotty Z did a really good webinar training on I think it was a Winning Wednesday, and he talks about exactly that, sharing your actual life. And that was a kind of a disconnect for me, because I am still working, running in business to get out of working a job. So I almost didn't want to share that I was still working, where you're not coming from an honest place at all. So that was actually really good training, because it's just like share and repeat your vision, repeat. It might sound like you're saying the same thing over and over again, but you have to keep repeating it. And it was actually a really good Winning Wednesday. It was very cut and dry. It wasn't, going in deep into ads and this and that. He actually said, he's like, it's confusing for people. Just share your story and just exactly what you're doing, what your vision is, and the process to get there.
I love that. Thank you for sharing that, by the way.
You're welcome.
Yes, for sure. Share that realism. And it's cool to have a job. Trust me. Having a job and having a career means that, you have the guts to go out there and keep working, bringing in an income while you're also learning to build a business, developing yourself, and that it's totally possible. And you're sending that message out to other people who are in that same scenario, Ryan, who are going to relate to you and go, wow, I'm sitting at my job that I hate every day. And this guy's showing up. He's still working, but he's still he's doing something I'm not. He's spending some time investing in his dreams. I'm spending no time investing in my dreams. If this guy can do it, I can do it, right? That's inspiring when you can be real. I love that. I'm so excited to see your journey. I'm going to follow the heck out of you now. I'm your new stalker.
It's fine with me.
Can I add on that, Tammy?
Yes, please.
So it's funny that you said that, Ryan, because when I started in a group of people that traveled all the time, and here I am, I'm a stay-at-home mom. And I'm like, well, my life is very boring because I spend like 90% of my time at home, or I go out places. I remember actually with Tammy, I was doing a BAA Mastermind, and we're just talking. And when it was over, these people came to me in the ski hill, and they're like, who are you just talking to? But it was really interesting. And I'm just literally being myself, and I posted like a picture. I'm sitting here, and I don't know how many office pictures I have on my page, but everyone is like, how, and even people in this industry are like, how can you look after your kids, have your house spotless, and still do the things all the time? Mind you, my sleep probably isn't the best, but I still get up at 6 in the morning and I go to bed at midnight. It works. But I do post like everything, and I use unsplash.com because, let's be real, I can't do every single picture. But if I use that content of those pictures, or I go on Google and something that is relatable to it, that's why we have things like InShot or Snapseed or Canva to edit those pictures to make them look whatever. I go on Instagram, Pinterest, steal things all the damn time when I feel like I don't do it. And it was one thing, everyone is so worried about getting 3 posts in a day. Once you do that for your first week, just focus on one. Okay, focus on 1, focus on 2. I literally focus on 2, where it's like my most trending post, just to keep my page algorithm going like crazy. And then I write about something real in my day, right? Like something about my day, like I'm not even kidding. There was one day where my son was a complete mess all over the place. And I'm like, my hair was like a mess. And I did like one of those weird, stupid faces. And I was like, but how many people can relate to it, right? So they're just like, oh my God, like how can you do that and have a mess and still have like some kind of organization? But it works. So to you, your life might be boring, but to somebody else, they're just like, I want to be you, right? Because just like how we are, like when I first met Tammy and Kevin and Jang and everybody else, I was like, oh my God, I'm like terrified. When I walked to Tammy's car, my heart was like, it was one of those things, right? Like it's the same thing for them. If that person was to meet you, they would have that same effect. And that's the same effect that you're giving someone right now. Guarantee you, Ryan, someone has that effect on you and they're like, I want to be him. And if I meet him, I might just faint right now. It's one of those things, right? And you got to think of that. There's always that someone that's going to be like, oh my God, I want to be them. And just always think of that. It was like something that Alicia Ward put in our head. You always have that one fan out there that is like in love with you. And that's all that you need to think about to keep you going. And that's what I think about all the time. I'm like, yeah, okay. He tells me every day. There's one guy that tells me every day. He goes, I think you're so pretty. I'm like, okay. Keep me going. But you know what?
Is he from India or South Africa? Because I get those too.
I know. Whatever. Keeps me going, right? It feels good, right? So,
I'm tired of people calling me ma'am.
Oh, I know. It's like, excuse me, I am not even in my 30s. Don't call me that. Yeah.
Thanks, Ryan, for hopping on. We're so happy to meet you. Look forward to seeing you more often, too.
Yes.
Awesome. Emily, did you get any takeaways from there? Or is there any spaces? Thanks, Crystal, by the way, for sharing that. Do you find there's any spaces where you might be a bit of a hobby in your business?
Yeah, sometimes it says Emily Ann Perry. Okay, let me talk, so we're going to be quiet.
What's his name?
So yeah, sometimes I feel like I do have that hobby mindset. It's like something comes up and it's like, okay, well, my business can wait, my post can wait. And especially this last week, I feel like I've just been hammering it out and trying to do stuff and definitely putting my business first. Especially like where I'm going on holidays next week. I'm still going to work on my business and stuff. And where he's going away, I'll be kidless. So again, I can focus on it a little bit more. Mommy, he definitely keeps me on my toes. Mommy, so. Can you stay with me when we go to bed? Yeah. So.
Hey, all of us, I think almost everyone here has kids and a mom. Don't worry, Emily Ann.
Actually, I posted a post today. It was like he was playing video games. We come home from school. He's just been downstairs eating, doing his thing, whatever. Like, here's a bear paw, have some dinner, juice, whatever. And so I made a post about like mom guilt. And I'm like, you know what? He's happy. He's fed. He doesn't smell like a dead mouse. So we're still going. That's all that matters right now is he's happy.
Strawberry.
So, and it's actually, I'm going to make him have a bath tonight. So
I love him already.
No, I'm not. It's like Tammy and a little boy.
Oh, he's the boy version of me. That's the best.
that's awesome.
That's the best. I could totally see your son on a TV show. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Oh, some of the things he says, it's so funny. Like
Get that kid an agent.
We could literally start. I did a mom show with one girl just to get her going and boost her confidence up doing Go Live. So we did like this mom show like every week where we just did like weird things with our kids in the background, and it got us so much content. I think she got like all of her leads from just doing this mom show, and it was so funny because the kids say the funniest things at the times all the time, and literally people eat that shit up. So just get them on a show and it'll get you the best results of your life.
And it's totally relatable.
Yeah.
That's the best. He needs to have his own Facebook Live show. That's it.
That's funny. We kind of talk about it a little bit because he's got an iPad and he like loves YouTube, even though he's not allowed to have it. But he's like, I want my own YouTube. And we're like, maybe.
That's awesome. He's gonna be the next millionaire child star. That's it.
I hope so.
I love that. Thanks so much for sharing. Okay, I'm gonna dive right into business mindset. And so somebody with a business mindset person, again, I said this earlier, that's the person that plugs into their business daily. And when I say daily, it doesn't mean that you're consuming your entire time in your business every day. That's not what I mean. It's kind of like going to the gym. Some people will go to the gym daily. Some will commit to going to the gym 3 days a week, 5 days a week, right? But they plug into that consistently and they make it a habit and they make it a priority. Treat your business the same way. Make it a habit, make it a priority, make it something you need to plug into daily, right? For however amount of time it is, okay? And a business-minded person is somebody who is always looking to build activities and work to create profit, okay? They're constantly looking at things that are activity-based into their business. So even if they're outdoors going for a walk, they might have, a thought in their mind that really inspires them, or they think back to a book they just read or an experience they just had with somebody. And then all of a sudden on their walk, they do a go live. And then they talk about that breakthrough moment or that realization, right? They're tapping in their business. And again, tapping in your business isn't, I'm sitting on a desk and I'm crunching numbers all day and I'm editing stuff. Tapping in your business is this, we're in the business of networking, of creating relationships. And the way we do that is we let the world into our world, right? That is also showing up into your business as well, okay? Saying those real stories, doing like Crystal with your hair everywhere and your kids running around the house with ketchup on their face. And you know what I mean? Like, oh my God, I'm having a bad day. This is my mom day, but I'm still being a mom. I'm still running a business online and I'm still able to spend this time with them. Messy hair, I don't care, right? So I love it. And they're constantly investing their time in themselves. Business-minded people invest in their team and they invest in their personal development. So a business-minded person will make it a very serious priority into their schedule to book themselves on either podcasts, audiobooks, reading a book, right? Attending, maybe there's a weekend or a day or an evening course or training retreat, something in life where maybe they're stuck and they're like, you know what, I need to master this skill or get rid of this bad habit. I'm going to listen to this podcast or read this book that's going to help me get past that. A business-minded person is hyper-focused on eliminating things they suck at and getting better at it, right? And they're also hyper-focused on the things they're good at and becoming great and masters at it, okay? Business-minded people, again, they schedule their business first above anything else they do. business before the gym, business before the movie, business before the night out with beers and the boys and the girls or whatever. You can still do those things, but I now use the hobby things I do as rewards for investing in my business. If I said I'm going to spend a half an hour today to get this thing done for my business because it will help create profit, once it's done, you reward yourself with whatever you want to do with friends, family, yourself, me time, okay? And I assure you, you will feel so much better when you're able to achieve that result. A business-minded person knows their why. They are so crystal clear on their goals, and they do everything to set out to achieve them, okay? A business-minded person has a no excuses attitude, and they're solutions providers. No excuses. You will never see them make an excuse. Even if there's setbacks, they don't make excuses for those setbacks. They say, you know what? This was a setback, but this is my solution to move forward. That simple. Where, oh, I can't believe I didn't get this done. I'm stuck. I can't move forward. This thing happened to me, and now I'm stuck with it, right? That is a hobby-minded person who is not invested in their business or their personal growth, right? A business-minded person will also lock arms with other leaders in their team, and they learn as much as they can from them, not only in their team, but outside of their team. I also network with other leaders in different companies, in different motivational groups, in personal development associations, also business development associations as well. So I lock arms with leaders like that. I become friends with them. I build rapport, relationships. I give value, and they give it back to me. It's a give and take relationship, right? But locking arms with leaders and getting clear on what are you doing to achieve the success and the goals that you have, and what do I need to adopt from that that's going to also help me with it, okay? Business-minded people, they make themselves available for their team. Simple as that. Be available for your team. Don't put your team aside as I'll get to it when I can, when it's important. You're not important to me. My team are the people who actually build my business. Otherwise, it's a one-man show. It's the Tammy show out there hitting the pavement and just selling shit all day long and capturing customers, right? That would be all I'd be doing. But the second someone says, Tammy, I think you're awesome. I'm going to lock arms with you. We're going to be business partners, and we're going to succeed. Perfect. Guess what? That person believed in me, and I will invest in them 100%. 100% of what they invest in me. That's always my commitment level. If you show up 100%, so will I. If you show up 50% of the time, I will show up 50% of the time. I will always match your effort. If you don't show up at all to your business, I'm not going to show up either. It's your business. When your doors are open, I will come in. When they're closed, I will go somewhere else and work with someone else. When you're clear with your team on that, people will start knocking and pounding down your door and now asking for your attention. And then I typically say, yes, you can have my time and attention if you actually move forward with what you've committed to yourself. You don't have to take my advice or suggestions. You have to take action in something in your life that affects your business. Otherwise, we're just hobby friends, and I will schedule a different timeline for you. You're not going to cut into my business timeline. Does that make sense? It's getting clear on what's important to you. And then business-minded people will always, always go the extra mile, and they will hustle. When the shit hits the fan, they prioritize and they get things done. All right? That is the end of the training. Does anybody have any comments that they want to share on business mindset? And, did it relate to you, and where do you find you're at? Once you know where you're at, then you know where you need to go or get to, and what tools and resources you need to attach yourself to get past that. So, Wendy, how did it go for you? Wendy froze. Hang on 1 second.
That was awesome. Thank you. I am mostly business, not hobby. Oh, shoot. Hang on. My internet sometimes isn't so great out here in the Wild West.
Wild West. Okay.
Or East, actually, I guess we are. Anyhow, I'm way more business. Although I do have had some things that were jumping into my business time, but I have a routine in the morning. Like, I get up at a certain time and I read every morning. I have my coffee and I read for at least 10 minutes, usually more, because I love to read. And it's always something that is either business or mindset, but I've been working so much on my mindset that now it's time for me to work on my business, because I've done the mindset stuff. I've done the switches, all that kind of stuff. So that's where I am right now.
I love that. Thank you so much for sharing that, Wendy. And I love that you were able to clearly identify where you're at. I'm pretty sure you can identify a time in your life where you were hobby mindset, right? I think you froze again. Wild West internet.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, I've had those. Yeah. Can you hear me or just at all or no?
Yes, I can hear you. It's your video that's just kind of moving.
Yeah, you can still hear me?
Yes. Yes, I can. That's okay.
Okay.
My Zoom.
Yeah, so I've got 50 years of it's just the time of day. But my 50 years has been hobby business. So I'm way more focused on business now, because that's just what I want. This is what I want. And there's nothing that will stop me. It might take me longer because sometimes things get in my way. 100.
Mm-hmm. I hear you. There's always something that's going to come in front of us. We're always going to have a speed bump in the road. And it's just how we face that speed bump, right? Do we allow that speed bump to set us way back? Or do we just look at it as, it's a speed bump. How do I get over it? Perfect solution, right? Business-minded person is focused on solutions, right? And solutions doesn't mean I know all the answers. It means I know I can get answers. I know if there's a problem, a question, or a challenge, the answers are there. I may not know them all, but I know to go out and find them, right? Attach myself and to resources and people who are going to help me solve those problems, right? And that's a business-minded person, because there's always there. I will never know everything in the world ever. And if anyone here or watching the recording thinks they know everything or the smartest person in the room, you are in the wrong room. I would rather be the person in the room who knows the least than anyone else, because then it's like in Candyland. To me, that is Candyland, Disneyland, because I'm in there and now I'm surrounded by people where all I can do is like pick their brain. Oh, tell me about this. How do you handle that? When this situation happened to me, I didn't know what to do. What would you do with that, right? Now I'm in a room where I can ask questions and I can grow and I can thrive, right? But when you're the smartest person in the room, it's like, oh, great. What am I going to learn here? Then you have to show up as the teacher, but you still want to go to the next room where you're the student. So you constantly have to be okay to split rooms and to take turns, right? Be student. And there's times I will attend things where I'm the student and I'm there to learn. And other times I show up and I'm the teacher and I'm there to coach and teach, okay? And you are the same in your own life. Everybody here is a teacher and a student. There's always something you know that you can teach someone, and there's something you don't know that you can learn from someone else. All the time. Always have the humility to be okay with both, to just embrace it, right? So I hope you all love the training. I'm getting an official PowerPoint done and going to host a recorded video on it. And I'm actually going to have that inside of the women's funnel and the training and so forth. But so it'll be more formally done versus on what do you call that? Like a freestyle mastermind. So I'm excited for that. I'm so happy. I got to spend 2 meetings with you girls now. So I'm going to stop the recording